They make them, we cover them, you sell them. Welcome to OEM Update, where we talk about everything you need to know about this year's vehicle model lines. My name is Megan Cusick, editor of Motorcycle and Powersports News, and today we're going to be talking about the 2025 KTM 390 SMC R. The 390 SMC R is a supermoto that starts at a base MSRP of $5,499. So, let's dive deeper into what exactly this bike has to offer, but for that, we're going to go straight to the OEM source. Returning today to give us an overview of the 2025 KTM 390 SMC-R is Ryan Sarancha, Product Manager for KTM North America. Ryan, thank you so much for jumping back on to speak with us today.
Yeah, always a pleasure to jump on these calls. Appreciate it.
Now, the last time we spoke with Ryan at AIM Expo to learn more about the Freeride E, so if you haven't already checked out that video, be sure to do so. First off, we are so glad to hear about all the good news coming from KTM lately. Production being back online and, the new 2026 off-road models rolling out. It seems like things are really looking up after a shaky start to this year. But while I'm sure we'll get around to talking about the 2026 models in upcoming episodes, for now, let's go ahead and focus on the 390 SMC-R, which is new for 2025. So Ryan, why did KTM decide to create a smaller capacity supermoto model?
There's kind of two reasons. One, supermoto is absolutely in our DNA. Our first street bike was a supermoto. We took our 620 Enduro, 17-inch wheels on it, turned it into the Duke back in 94. So when we built the 390 Enduro R for this year, we knew 100% that we were going to turn it into a supermoto. And it's been a great platform for that. It's probably one of the best transitions into supermoto that we've had out of a platform. So we knew we were going to build the bike, but then also we did definitely want to have an alternative to the 690 SMC-R, the smaller bike alternative. So 690, it's 74 horsepower. It's a much taller seat height. It's a bigger bike, maybe a bit more of that hooligan bike that kind of rider is attracted to it. And it's a bit intimidating. You take the 74 horsepower, you replace it with 44 horsepower on the 390. Instead of an 890 millimeter seat height, this is 860. And you know how important it is to be able to get your feet on the ground to feel confident and comfortable on the bike. So you have a more approachable platform. And then also the 390 SMC-R is $5,500. It's less than half the price of the 690. So we really wanted to have something that was approachable, that was easier to get into the sport with, to grow the sport of motorcycling. And very much the 390 platform has allowed us to do that in all of the segments that we're in with it.
Awesome. Always love to hear about making bikes more accessible to more people. So can you tell me a bit more about the new LC4C engine that's powering this bike?
Yeah, for sure. So to jump back for a second, the platform, so the chassis, the engine, these are all new for 2025. But we did launch in 24 the new Duke range, and that's when we launched the new LC4C engine. And so we've carried that over into the new 390 Enduro Adventure SMC-R. So the engine is all new. And we went from a 373.2 cc engine to 398.7. So did not change the bore, but we increased the stroke, went from 60 millimeters to 64. And a nice side benefit of that is you increase torque, which on these smaller displacement engines, always something good to do. We went from 37 Newton meters to 39 Newton meters of torque. We also made the case smaller. We changed the head design, the whole architecture of the engine. We went through the transmission. We made a lot of changes to centralize mass, to improve ground clearance, because the engine's an important part of packaging the bike, especially when it hangs from the frame. So we were able to get better ground clearance, better center of gravity. As I mentioned, we went through the transmission. It has the power assist slipper clutch, and it has an optional quick shifter. But with the changes we made to the transmission, all of that just works even better. So you get faster shifting, smoother shifting with less force. And the quick shifter, when you do decide to add that option, that works even better as well. So a lot of really great changes to the engine, as well as increasing service intervals. Went from 15,000 kilometers to 20,000 kilometers for a valve check.
All right. So in addition to using the new engine, what are some of the other main selling points for the 390 SMCR?
Well, we've got a really nice rider aids package on the bike, an electronics package, also to support the engine and the chassis and the braking as a whole. So it has a 4.2-inch TFT display and then a toggle switch on the bar that allows you to navigate through the ride modes. And your two different ride modes, your street and your sport, those will change your traction control intervention, your ABS setting. So then also we do have two ABS options, your standard, which would be front and rear engagement of the ABS, and then supermoto ABS as a standard feature. And that'll disengage any ABS intervention in the rear with a specific and limited amount in the front. So between the slipper clutch and supermoto ABS, you can actually get really aggressive on the bike when you're riding this. I can tell you, for our media launch, we took our journalists through canyons and commuting and street riding and everything. But then we also took them to Apex go-kart track to let them get pretty aggressive on the bike. And some of the key features of that would be an oversized front brake, the slipper clutch is standard, the long travel suspension. It has Apex, WP Apex suspension front and rear with 230 mil travel suspension, plus just an ergonomic package that you have on an off-road oriented platform. So basically all the features you need for some pretty spirited supermoto riding or then just commuting and play riding, canyon riding, that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And can you break down some of the more of the technical specs for us? I know we went in a bit into the engine there, but yeah, anything else, suspension, brakes, all that.
Yeah, for sure. So as I mentioned, WP Apex suspension front and rear. It's 230 millimeters of travel. It has rebound and compression adjustment in the front, 30 click adjustment. It's a split function design. So you have your rebound on one side, compression damping on the other side. So it's right there in front of you, both fork legs, which means while you're riding, you can make your clicker changes at the front. And they're toolless. You don't have to have a screwdriver. There's just little knobs on both. So super convenient. 20 clicks of adjustment in the rear, 17-inch wheels front and back. These are tube type. We went that route instead of sealing the wheel just to save a little bit of weight. And you've got the Michelin Power 6 tires. Again, we took these tires through all the paces, whether it was canyon riding or taking to the supermoto track. And it's a pretty good tire for almost anything that you're going to want to throw at it, unless you're really putting hot laps into the supermoto track. Then maybe you want to put some slicks on. The weight of the bike, 355 pounds roughly with fuel. So a light, for sure, a light chassis. So again, that low seat height, it's 860 millimeters, which is 33.8 inches. We have a 9-liter fuel tank or 2.37 gallon. So you get great range, easily going over 200 miles on the bike. Single cylinder depends on how you ride. If you're full throttle, certainly going to change your mileage, but usually under normal circumstances, well over 200-mile range.
Okay, fantastic. All right. Now, I know we talked a little bit earlier about, the difference between the 390 and the 690 versions, but how does this model differ from the 450 SMR?
Yeah, for sure. The 450 SMR is a ready-to-race competition supermoto. It's based off of the 450 SXF platform. So this is a pure race bike. You can take it from the showroom floor directly to your local supermoto racetrack and compete at the highest level in that sport. No question. On the other side of that, the 390 SMC R, this is a street legal, more practical, more approachable platform that lets you play in supermoto, but then also, you're not rebuilding the engine constantly. You're not dealing with everything that comes along with a competition motorcycle. So you just have a fun platform that you can easily engage in go-kart track days, canyon riding, commuting, everyday riding.
What are some of the most popular accessories for, your supermoto bikes?
Yeah, some great options that we have in our lineup. The Acro exhaust, the titanium exhaust, saves a lot of weight, adds a little bit more mid-range. We have no shortage of orange anodized CNC machine parts, some protective pieces for sure, sliders and handguards. All that stuff is usually really, really popular. But then also the electronic side of it, the quick shifter is a great option. I ride the bike when I get a chance to take one out with the quick shifter engaged. So that's clutchless up and down shifting. And for the street, absolutely a must. And then if you're going to do a good amount of commuting on it, then luggage options for sure. We've got plenty.
Last question for you, Ryan. Is the bike available now?
Yes, in dealerships now, model year 25. And then MSRP, it's $5,499.
Well, it is always a pleasure speaking with you, Ryan, and thank you so much for coming back today to talk with us about the 2025 KTM 390 SMC R.
Awesome. Thank you, Megan. Of course, appreciate it.
For more information about its bikes or to become a KTM dealer, head to ktm.com. And as always, like, subscribe, and stay tuned to MPN for more of the latest and greatest in motorcycle and powersports news.